So I can have these things, right? I can have nice stuff because I don't
You
get
put
high
in the work,
anymore.
yeah.
I drive a Lexus. Like, I'm okay, man. I live in Sherman Oaks in a gated community with a pool, gym,
Fuck yeah.
sauna.
Fuck yeah.
And like, I was homeless when I came out to treatment here. When I flew out to treatment from Boston to Cal, I was living on a blanket on a beach in South Boston. I became homeless because my addiction brought me to homelessness, because my family didn't want me anymore. My family was like, go fucking get out of here. All you do is hurt us. All you do is rob from us. All you do is steal from us. Go fucking get out of here. And like, they kicked me out of that apartment that they had given me. And I ended up on a blanket on a beach in South Boston.
That's got to be cold, right?
No, it was August. It was
Okay.
summertime. So it was okay. So then somebody from out here, the intake coordinator from California, that ended up coming out here and getting sober, and he was the intake coordinator for a treatment program like your father owns. He was the intake coordinator, and he was like, "Hey, man, I can get you a scholarship, and I can get you out here. Do you want to come out here?" And I went, "Abso-fucking-lutely."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm killing myself.
So at what point did you realize that the life that you were living needed to change? At what point? Specific point.
What do you mean? That got me sober this time?
That led you to at least embark on that journey of sobriety. Like, what event? Was there a specific event, or was it
Right then, like that day that he made that call? Like, I was speedballing with heroin and crack cocaine. I speedball. I shot crack cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't smoke crack. Like, people don't. What do you mean you didn't smoke it? You shot it. Well, you can break it down with lime juice in a spoon. If you put lime juice on crack cocaine, it breaks down. So
don't try that at home, please.
So you can shoot it.
Yeah.
Don't try that at home. So
yeah.
I was speedballing with crack cocaine and heroin, and I was putting them both in the same spoon and fucking shooting it up in my neck, and I was suicidal. And I looked out into the ocean, and I went, God. Now, when you get hit with cocaine, right? You get this feeling of, I love everybody, and like I fucking life's fucking great. It's like when you don't do this at home, but it's like when God comes down from the skies and gives you a hug. That's what it feels like, speedballing with crack and heroin. It's just like this euphoric feeling.
Of course.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, like, either take me now or give me something to get sober for, or give me a reason to get sober, or let me die from this next shot. I was suicidal. Now I was homeless. I was on a blanket on a beach in South Boston, and I was suicidal, and I wanted to die. So I said, let this next shot either kill me or give me something that some kind of answer. And it wasn't like right away. It was like 15 minutes later that this kid Isaac called me.
That's pretty right away.
From California.
Yeah.
He called and he went, hey, do you want to come out to California and go to treatment?
God is so powerful, man.
And I went, and I looked up at God and I went,
you're real. Like, man.
So God shots all over my life. So then all through my recovery, my next God shot was when I told you about being outside at smoke break and all these kids bragging about shit, right?
Yeah.
And me being a facade of a mask, and like me bragging about shit that wasn't true either, about being a drug dealer, about fucking having 1,001 fights and all that crap, and always having to like be the cool kid in fucking Detox. That was another mind opening experience when I was in Detox.
Right.
Now at 30 days sober. So then it was another God shot, I mean. So like all these God shots were coming in. Now like I was in treatment, and then the therapist was teaching group. And I'm like, I said to her, and I'm like, hey, are you in recovery yourself? And the therapist goes, no.
What?
And I go, what do you mean you're not in recovery? I said, why am I going to learn anything from you then?
Yeah.
I said, fuck this group. And I got up and I walked out. She came up to me after group and she goes, Kory, I hate to tell you, but I'm your therapist too. So we're going to have our fucking groups, one-on-ones together. So I go, okay. I took clinical psychology in prison. And I said, I took clinical psychology to try and figure out my own mind because I wanted to know why I kept using it and I kept fucking doing these stupid decisions over and over again. So I wanted to figure out my own mind. So I read clinical psychology. Like I told you, my brother told me to read books if I wanted to figure out shit. So I wanted to figure out my own mind. But clinical psychology, if you ever fucking try to read it or learn it, it teaches me how to read you and how to read how crazy you are, not how crazy I am. It'll never teach, like half of your psychologists are cuckoo themselves, right? Because they can't fix themselves, but they can fix you. Because they are. Clinical psychology is all about fixing the other person. It's not about fixing the psychologist. That's why there's a lot of psychiatrists that are fucking cuckoo themselves that don't get fixed because they don't go to a psychiatrist themselves, which they need to. Because like they're cuckoo.
Yeah.
So I was trying to learn it, man, and I was trying to learn about it, and I was like, fucking, man, like, if I could just learn about this shit, man, I'll be able to fix myself. So I did that, man, and, like, fucking, over time, like, I stopped trying to fix the problems with thinking that, like, fucking, if this person's not an addict, she can't do anything for me. That's what I was talking about. My psychologist, right? So she can't help me. You can't help me because I asked you right off the bat if you were an addict or an alcoholic. Because why would I even do this with you if you're not? Because how are you going to help me, or how is this going to benefit me in my journey of evolution, or my journey of life, or my journey with Jesus, or anything? But as soon as you told me you were Christian, then you had me, because like I'm Christian too. So now Jesus is. We both have the same.
I'm glad that you know.
So we both have the same higher power. So now I can connect with you on something. Is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Now I need something to connect with you on.
Right.
So what Nancy told me, my psychologist, is I go, hey man, I took clinical psychology, so we're gonna go into your room in your office, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna mind fuck each other, and like that's all we're gonna do. And she goes, well, that sounds boring. And I go, sounds boring to me too. And she goes, do you want to just go for a walk? And I went, yeah. I never get out of here. So I was in treatment, like I said, right? And I wanted to get the hell out of there. So she took me for a walk, something I wanted.
Yeah.
So she gave me something. So now you're giving me something. Now I can connect with you. You just gave me something that I need. I need something that makes me connect with you. Like you, Christianity, connected with me. I needed to go for a walk. She could give me that freedom of going for a walk. That connected us.
Yeah.
So now I was open to talk to her. She took that opening. She was smart enough to take that opening. So then when we went on a walk, she was able to fucking get to me.
Yeah.
And I let her. I was like, all right, you gave me something. You were cool, man. You're cool. So I let her. So then when I went back into her group, I didn't fight her anymore. I didn't say, hey man, you can't teach me shit. I went, what have you read in books like that maybe you could teach me?
Yeah.
What is something I can learn from you? So like that's what a lot of kids in these treatment centers do. They go, man, like fuck these groups. What are they gonna teach me? Who are you? I don't give a shit about him. I don't care about you. What the fuck are you gonna teach me?
Yeah.
And then you got old timers that come in, right? Alcoholics that come in and they go, and they're stuck in their ways, and they're like fucking, they've never grown, and they've never matured in their brain. And they're coming into your treatment center and they're going, I just want to quit drinking. Anything else you're going to teach me, I already know. I know everything. That was the first thing my fucking sponsor told me, is stop saying I know. And I went, what? He goes, everything that I say to you, you say I know. Because I'd be like fucking sitting there going through the big book with him, he's telling me about the steps. And I knew it because my uncle, I told you, had taught it to me and had showed it to me. So I knew a lot of history about Alcoholics Anonymous and about the big book. So I knew everything. So now what am I? Like, I'm that fucking guy that knows everything, right? So I go, I know. Everything he was trying to teach me, I was like, I know. He's like, can you just stop saying that? Because if you knew, you would have been sober a long time ago, bro. He's like, so can't you just shut the fuck up and say, I don't know? Teach me? And I went, huh. I never thought about it that way. So he goes, why don't you just become a sponge, Kory?
Yeah.
He goes, become a sponge and like fucking take everything in and learn from other people and learn that you might know little, but you might meet a lot of people to teach you a lot. So stop fucking knowing a little and open your mind to knowing a lot.
Yeah.
So I opened my mind and I went, fuck it, man. Like, let these people teach me other things.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people taught me was introduced me to other books and shit. So Nancy's given me like psychologist books, right? So now I was reading more books. That's how you get me to open up my mind, is introduce me to something. Another guy taught me the 4 agreements. I teach the 4 agreements now. That's one of my groups that I do for counseling.
Can you tell us more about that?
The 4 agreements?
Yeah.
The 4 agreements are just having integrity, treating yourself right, not you letting the word be used against you and not using the word against other people. Doing what you say and saying what you do, showing up for people when you say you're going to be there, being a good person. So what the 4 agreements was when I was taught it, man, and what I was showed it was actually, I read it, the first time I read it was in the SHU in prison. You know what the SHU is?
Is it like solitary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got into a bad fight and I ended up in the SHU for months.
Wow.
So you know how bad the fight,
That must be
the fight was. So I jumped off a second tier onto somebody's head. So
jeez.
they put me in the SHU for 6 months and like 5.5. So I read this book over and over again, because if there's a book going through the SHU, you better read it and you better keep it. So like people were like banging on their cells, hey man, send me that book. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. No, like I just kept reading it.
And what book was that?
The 4 agreements. So God shot again back then. So when I read that book, I said, I'm going to input this in my life and I'm going to fucking be this person. Back then, I said, when I get out of fucking jail this time, I'm going to fucking put all this into my life and I'm going to practice this. And it was all spiritual principles. It was all about spirituality. It was Don Miguel Ruiz just having a spiritual experience when he came out of a cave and learning that the worth was energy, good energy, bad energy, and what I put into it and what I take out of it, and how I react to people. And if you say words to me, they don't hurt me. If you call me a bitch and a punk, right? Those are fighting words in the prison, in an institutionalized mind, right?
Right.
But if I don't have an institutionalized mind anymore, they're just words. So now if you say them to me, I don't fight you. I'm not going to say anything to you. If you say them to me, I'm going to say, those words are pretty ignorant. You should probably go to school and learn some better ones. See you later, pal. I'm over here doing grown-up stuff and I'm going to walk away from you.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I was able to work at Lancaster Prison and bring that up. And I brought up the 4 agreements and I said, the 4 agreements has taught me just as much as the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's taught me about principles and it's taught me about having integrity with myself and being a man of my word and not letting words used against me. So I said, in a circle of 100 guys, because when you're introduced as a facilitator at Lancaster State Prison as a case manager, they put you in the middle of 100 guys and you have to introduce yourself as the new counselor.
Sounds fun.
So I stood in the middle, and I don't get nervous. You asked me if I was nervous. No, I'm a Boston guy. Like, I don't get nervous. I was like,
that's right.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I've been in prison before.
Yeah.
So I stood in front of these 100 guys, and I looked around the room, and I went, hey, how many of you are in here for the words bitch or punk? Like somebody called you a bitch or a punk or said something about or called you a name or something, so you threw hands with them, and you ended up here for it. I went around this circle and I counted 52 guys.
Jeez.
52 guys got their freedom taken away for a word. So I said, the word, I pointed to a couple of different guys and I asked them, I said, how? He's like, well, some fucking guy like called me a punk outside of a bar and fucking, I punched his head in and I hit him so hard that he went into a fucking seizure and he ended up in the med unit and like fucking, I got a assault and battery with attempted murder. Really? Over him calling you a punk outside of a bar?
And how many years did they give for that?
He got a 5 to 10. So I went, wow. So they take away your freedom over these words, right?
Yeah.
So what I was taught by an old timer in AA when I showed him that I was reading the 4 agreements, and he's like, "Oh, you're reading it? Are you studying it? Because it's like taking a bar exam. It's like learning the bar exam. It's a learning book. It's not a reading book. It's not a book you just read and throw to the side.
Yeah.
It's something you learn." So he goes, "Are you learning it?" And he goes, and I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Really?" He goes, "What's up, bitch?" I went, and I jumped back a little bit, and he goes, "So you're still taking offense to that word?" And I'm like, he goes, "Seriously, did you take offense when I just called you a bitch?" And I went, "Yeah, a little bit." And he goes, "Then you're not studying it." He goes, "Because the word can't be used against you unless you find something in yourself that you think that you might be that word. You think in your back of your head that I might be right.
Wow.
And you might be a bitch. And I might find out that you're a bitch. So you're going to throw hands with me, put your fists up, and punch me in the face because I called you it because I just might be right and you don't want me to be right.
Man.
That's the only reason why you're going to fight over that word."
Wow.
So a grown-up, he goes, "Now call me it." I go, "You are a bitch for calling me a bitch." And he goes, "Do you see it affecting me in any way?" I went, "No." He goes, "Because it's just a word." He goes, "I don't care about words." He goes, "Words have never affected me."
That's the zenith of enlightenment.
If you called your PO, your probation officer, a bitch, what's he going to do? He's going to go, it's going to roll off his shoulders because he's a grown-ass man that's gone through life without putting an institutionalized word into his head that means fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean fight to him. It doesn't mean fight to a person on the street. It means fight to somebody that's an animalistic behavior or institutionalized mind. A grown-ass man, a matured mind, doesn't let words be used against them to make them react. Because if I'm calling you a name, I want you to react. I actually want you to fight me. So I'm going to say the worst things I can about you. I'm going to talk about your mother. I'm going to talk about everything, right? Like the Uber driver probably said to you to get you to want to fight him. Every word to make you react until you do. And then you protect yourself against me. And then when you protect yourself against me, I'm going to shoot you. And then it's going to be justifiable homicide, right? There's always a reason behind these words and me fucking getting you to say them or to react to them. Don't react in the first place. I don't react to words. Yeah. My Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ, tells me that words can't affect me unless I let them. And I said, spirituality, man, if you believe in spirituality and have spiritual principles in your life, nothing's going to harm you. You're going to have God's jacket, like that protection, right? That they talk about in Bible study and everything else. That protection, that spiritual blanket that I'm going to wear, that shield that I'm going to wear against you. I form a formidable shield against you and everything you say or do against me. I'm good, man. I'm good in everything that I do in my life. I work for God. So nothing you can say institutionalized or any kind of behavior like is you're trying to get me to react. So that's what the 4 agreements have taught me. So now, like, I teach the 4 agreements in treatment. Like, I go around to different treatment centers and I teach it. And, like, that's what I was doing for a long time. I was doing my own groups and, like, 10 different treatment centers. But it was like driving to 10 different treatment centers is like killing all my gas and driving time. So I was like, man, I just want to work at one treatment center and just be a counselor again.
Yeah.
So that's why I've put myself back into the arena of probably going back to work at one treatment center and just teaching groups and counseling. But that's what I got the most out of is the growth in recovery and the growth in books. And like the more I read, the more I study, and that's what goes back to who? My brother. My brother told me a long time ago that life was going to be formed through what I learned myself through books and reading. And he was right.
Books are powerful.
So it's another God shot that like I knew that like I was supposed to learn through these books and through spiritual literature and everything else, man, about myself and like what I could give back to other people and how I could help another addict to get off fentanyl, to get off drugs, to help them. And like to show that, man, that like fucking, that's only going to work for a temporary amount of time until it doesn't, until it kills you.
Right. And did you grow up Christian? Was that something that was kind of...
I grew up Irish Catholic. I'm not even Irish. People say you're from Boston, you must be Irish. Nope. I say you're racist. Like, not everybody from Boston's Irish. Like, that's a racist remark. Like, you know what I mean? I'm French, German, and Polish, and a little bit of Scottish. So no, I'm not even Irish. But my mother wanted to fit in the neighborhood, so we went to catechism. We followed all the other little Irish kids, and we went to, and she wanted us to be Irish Catholic, and we went to Notre Dame Church, and I'm like, I remember saying to my mother, I'm like, Mom, we're not even Irish. And she'd be like, shh, mind your P's and Q's. I'd be like, what the hell are my P's and Q's?
And how did you interpret that at a young age, trying to understand what God is?
I didn't. I didn't. We were at catechism. We were out back smoking weed and drinking at catechism. You know what I mean? You know what catechism is? It's Catholic school. Where they teach you about the Bible and everything. We wouldn't even go upstairs. All us bad kids would go out back and smoke weed, and we'd skip class, we'd skip group, and like I didn't want to learn.
So what was your first like spiritual experience where you're like, wait, this might actually be real? Was it the phone call with the person on the beach, or was there something before that?
Those were all just experiences that were telling me to get into recovery. I didn't equate them with spirituality and my higher power until I actually started like seeing through the steps and through the work and getting a spiritual connection and getting that connection with God, with getting that connection and that enlightenment from God through the 12 steps. And it's called it's not called a white light experience because like everybody thinks that I go through the steps, I'm supposed to have this white light experience. No, you're supposed to have an experience through knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? So through the learning experience of working the 12 steps, you're going to have many spiritual experiences. You're going to have many times that God's going to be connected through learning, just through learning the book and like through helping others.
Yeah.
The most spiritual connection you're going to get is sponsorship, is when I help another alcoholic to achieve sobriety. When I sponsor another guy.
Stewardship.
That's it.
What did
doing
Jesus
God's
do?
work.
Yeah.
That's it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. And you said you went to treatment a couple of times, more than a couple.
More than
what
100.
was? Yeah, more than 100. What was that 100th time that was different about the rest of the 99?
I was done. I was ready to hear it. I was ready to be open-minded and willing to change. I was sick of it. I was exhausted from going from program to program, to prison cell to prison cell, to shelter, to being homeless, to like hitting that rock bottom that they say, that I was just over it.
And what did you do different that last time? that made it stick?
The steps, and I got a sponsor and actually work the program and stop fighting it. Once you stop fighting, and like they tell you, put up the white flag and stop fighting.
Yeah.
And be open-minded and willing to learn from new people, to learning these new experiences, to stop fighting every program you go into. Like, you should be the director and you could teach group. Oh, I could teach group. I've been here a million times. I've been in treatment 100 and something times, right? I've been to 100 and something detoxes. I've been to 65 programs.
I didn't even know that many detoxes existed. Yeah.
In Boston, there's probably 56 government-ran detoxes. California is the only place that has 6-bed facilities. We have 30-bed, 50-bed. They have detoxes all around Boston. They're all government ran or government owned through government insurance.
Yeah.
So you can go to detox anytime. And like, why we keep going to detox in Boston? Because it's fucking cold out. So if you're on the streets, man, in the cold season, you only go out in the cold for a little bit, and then you go, fuck this, I'm going back to detox.
Yeah.
So you go back in the detox and go hide for the winter. Not necessarily to get treatment, just to fucking
have a place to stay.
To have a place to stay and a roof over your head and to be warm. So like, if you ask a bunch of guys in Boston how many detoxes you've been to, a lot of them are going to say 50, 60, 100, like fucking, because we'd keep going during the cold times just to hide out and just to get off the street.
How would you encourage somebody who's maybe from Boston, let's say, who, because to come to California, right, like there's a lot of state-run programs and things like that, but there's a distinction, right, between state-run programs, private facilities. And I'm not saying all private facilities are great, but there's something different that's going on, right? That it's smaller, there's more emphasis on people. How would you encourage somebody who has that ability to come to a place, you know, in California or elsewhere that's a private center to actually make that step to change?
There's 2% of people that make it in treatment. If you look at statistics, that's what I did this time. So I went, all right, I'm done this time, and I want treatment, and I want to stay sober, and I want to do this. So I'm going to look at every statistic of smart recovery, of NA, of AA, of CA, of all these different programs that are out, that are laid out, right? How many people stay on Suboxone, methadone, like how successful is that? It's sustainable, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the biggest success rate. The biggest success rate is Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. The two biggest successes with statistics is 12-step programs that statistically keep you fucking for multiple years if you keep working your recovery. So everything else that people were telling me, like, oh man, you could go to smart recovery, you could do this, you could do that. I'm like, well, what are the statistics on it? And they tell me, and it was like 0.1%, like fucking, like you got a better chance of fucking being hit by an airplane than fucking staying sober in these other things. And like, I'm like, well, the biggest success rate is AA and NA, so I'm going to go try that because like it's success.
Yeah.
It's been successful, and there's only 2% right now that stay fucking sober. Do you know that? That like fucking out of all those treatment, like you're going to have one client. If you have 12 clients in your treatment center, right? One, maybe 2 out of that 12 is going to actually stay sober for multiple years. They might, like 5, 6 of them might stay sober for a couple months, a month, you know what I mean? A year, 2 years. But statistically, 2 of them for multiple years.
But even those people, I feel like if they keep pushing like you did, that chance, I mean, you can make it close to 100, right? Because it's all up to you. You can make that
statistics.
Can make
and statistically, right? People don't want to do the 12 steps. They don't want to work a program. So that's why I make all my sponsees read the 4 agreements, and I teach the 4 agreements because it was just 4 principles to stay sober on. So I have sponsees that have stayed sober over a year on just the 4 agreements, on me teaching them and studying the 4 agreements with them before we even get into the 12 steps. I say, hey, man, we're going to learn and I'm going to teach you the 4 agreements before I even start teaching you the 12 steps. Mm-hmm. So you can have a different fucking outlook. Like, I don't want to do the 12 steps. Because every knucklehead that says it, mm-hmm. every young kid, they go, I don't want to do the 12 steps. I don't fucking believe in them. Mm-hmm. Well, cool, man. Like, here, I'm going to introduce you to the 4 agreements. So the 4 agreements teaches you a different way of living. Mm-hmm. And it teaches you that nobody's against you, that you don't have to be against everybody else, that society's not against you, mm-hmm. that you're against fucking everybody else and how you react to everybody else. And like I told you, man, I'll read it to you sometime. And like, you should read it sometime or buy it. Everybody. I have my sister reading it, who's not an alcoholic addict, because she wanted to fix her relationship with my mother, because they have they fight all the time. So I said, how do you fix their relationship? I told them both to buy it. I made my mother buy it and my sister buy it, and to read the 4 agreements, mm-hmm. and to learn that, like, you're not going to change the other person.
Right.
I don't have control over you.
Right.
And like in these treatment centers, your father doesn't have any control over anybody in the treatment center. You're not going to like have this best Betty Ford clinic. I send 100 people through the Betty Ford clinic and they have fucking this psychiatrist that they pay $500,000 a year, and he's the best psychiatrist in the fucking world. Guess what? They're going to have the same fucking statistics as this company. I don't give a shit who they have working for them. Mm-hmm. It's not going to change that person's mind or anything. I can work for you and like fucking change more minds than that Betty Ford lady can, than that psychiatrist can.
Yeah.
Know why? Because I've lived how these addicts feel.
Exactly.
I've been in prison. I've been homeless. I've been in fucking institutions. I've been dead. I've overdosed fucking numerous times, Narcaned, and brought back to life. A number of times. I can't even tell you how many times. Mm. So I've died. Jails, institutions, and death, I've done them all, right? So that can't be taught through a book, through anything. It has to be taught through one addict helping another without parallel, mm-hmm. right? So that you can't fucking give somebody. I can't give you sobriety unless you want it.
Right.
So until you're done, and I can tell you, you should get done, because I've done all that shit, and like it took me until 44 to get sober. You don't want to do that, kid, at your age. You know what I mean? Like I tell kids, I'm like, you don't want to be me in treatment at 44 years old, fucking just starting life over again. You don't want to do that. Get it now, and like fucking give yourself a chance at life, to get off survival mode and to be able to live a life that's beautiful. You could miss all of this and like fucking miss everything that I've always missed, because I was never getting that like fucking, until I like put up that white flag and stopped fighting against everything that people are trying to help me to succeed at. I'm never gonna fucking get this. I'm never gonna have the answers. And like fucking everybody thinks there's just one great answer. No, it's not until I remember, right, going through the steps with my sponsor the first time in Denver, Colorado. And he goes, well, now your job is to take somebody else through the steps. And I went, well, I don't know that I'm informed enough. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think that I had enough material. I didn't think that he taught it to me well enough. I said, man, I don't know if I can take somebody else through the steps. And he goes, I know that and you know that, but he doesn't know that. And I went, I started laughing. I go, what? He goes, I know that and you know that, but don't tell the fucking newcomer that you're helping that you don't think that you're fucking good enough to help him. Just read the book with him and take him through the steps. And guess what? If he's ready, you're not going to make him unready. If he's done and he's ready to hear the message, You're not going to there's nothing you can say wrong in that book if you take them through these steps as it's laid out in the first 164 pages of the big book, and take them through these steps as it's laid out. There's nothing you're going to say wrong to him and to make him unready. And guess what? If he's not ready, I don't care if Bill W. himself comes out of the ground, the one that wrote the book comes out of the ground and takes him through the steps. He's not going to make him ready. I don't care if Betty Ford Clinic fucking tries to make you ready if you're not ready. If you're not, it says it in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. We cannot teach a message to people that are not ready to hear that message. We can't give this to people that aren't ready to hear the message. You as a regular person, him as a regular person, fucking anybody as a regular person doesn't get that. You don't get it. Like, fucking, hey, man, if you told me enough times that I'm going to die on fentanyl, that, like, fucking my life's going to be over, that, like, I'm going to fucking wreck my whole life, I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to be this, that, and everything, I'm going to stop using. Well, a real alcoholic addict that isn't just a regular person doesn't get that same fucking thought that you do in your head when I tell you that that's what's going to happen to you. You go, fuck, that I'm not going to fuck around with that shit. An addict alcoholic goes, I'm going to fuck around with it a few times and fucking prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove to him that I can still sustain my house and my car and my business and everything else, and I can still fucking do drugs and alcohol, and I can still snort cocaine on the weekends, and I can fucking still drink every night of the week, and I can still keep my life together. I'm going to prove you wrong. And I can be California sober, and I can still hold my life together because I'm different than you. Maybe you needed the steps and you needed the big book, but I don't.
Yeah, see that a lot.
So every addict alcoholic's trying to teach every other alcoholic that they're wrong, that you're not right, man. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I'm not you. So what he told me, like I just said, man, I can't make a fucking somebody that isn't ready to hear this message ready. Yeah. I don't care how great your program is. I don't care if I make it the greatest program in California. And I can, because I have that what's that called? Inferiority complex. I do. I'm from Boston, bro. I used to play for the fucking Patriots. I used to play for the Boston Red Sox. These are jokes. That's what
I was about to believe you.
Hey, that's how confident and cocky us Boston guys are. I used to play for the Boston Bruins. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you these things. If you want to go play hockey with me, I'll be like, watch out, bro. I used to play for the Bruins. If you want to go play football with me on the weekend, fucking, I'll say, I used to play for the Patriots. I'm going to kick your ass. Like, these are fucking lies I'm going to tell you, right? And make your fucking head believe them, right? So that's what these lies that fucking addicts and alcoholics tell themselves. I can drink and smoke weed. I can do all these other things. And you're not going to tell me different, right? I have an inferiority complex, so I can tell you that I can come into your treatment center and be the director of your treatment center and save everybody because I want to, but guess what? Statistically, I'm not. I'm not that good. I want to be, and I might plant a seed, and never underestimate the planting of a seed. That's what it says in the book, too. It says in the Bible, and it says in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Never underestimate the planting of a seed. So anybody that comes through your treatment center, I'm going to plant a seed with, that might come back later and get it when they realize what I said made sense, because they went back out and tried again and weren't successful, so they're going to come back, right? That, in that part, of course, we plant seeds with people, but you can't make anybody ready that's not ready. Yeah. Even if they go, man, like, I've overdosed 20 times and like, I just want to fucking stay fucking clean. The next thing you know, they're in your program for fucking 30 days and they're hooking up with some girl and they're going down the fucking street to go fucking in an alleyway, right? And they don't know that that's going to kill them. Yeah. They don't even realize that those behaviors that they're not changing are going to kill them. What do you mean? We're not trying to hurt each other. We're just trying to have a good feeling. No, it's those behaviors that you're not changing. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you're not even trying to change any kind of behavior. You're still trying to act out. And you're trying to act out in deceit. And you're trying to act out in behaviors that like aren't Christian or aren't in the right manner. You're not trying to put yourself like a fucking gentleman or a lady. You're acting out in fucking animalistic behaviors and still thinking, like I've done prison bids and like, oh man, I'm going to stay sober after these prison bids. But the whole prison bids, I'd be fucking in the mop closet beating the shit out of guys, because that's where we used to go to fight sometimes. There's a big ass mop closet, and we'd jump guys and drag them in the mop closet and beat the piss out of them. And I'd be like, I'm not drinking or using this time in prison. So this time when I get out, I'm going to be okay. Because all it is about time. So I'd get out with fucking 2 years clean out of fucking another prison bid or another county bid, I mean. And I'd get out with that time and they'd be like, fucking dude, why are you high again? You had 2 years. Like you fucking stayed clean your whole time in the joint.
Yeah.
And the whole time in county, you stayed clean. You read the big book. You went to meetings. You did all this stuff. I didn't change no behaviors. I still beat the crap out of people. I still like tried to run the block. I still tried to like fight everybody. I still acted like the tough guy. I didn't change none of my character defects, or I didn't accept Jesus Christ in my life as my Lord and Savior. I didn't accept the higher power. I still tried to be the higher power. I tried to be Superman all the time. I still walked around with an ego the size of a fucking Elon Musk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still tried to have that God, like that.
Yeah.
Now, like, I don't try to have that. I try to stay humble and grateful, man. I tell everybody, man, after I say my prayers in the morning, man, I don't tell God how big my problems are. I tell my problems how big my God is.
Wow.
I get on my knees every morning and I don't ask God what he can give me. I ask him what he needs me to do for him for the day. And if you do that for me for the day, I promise, if you keep me away from a drink or a drug, I'll do anything you need me to do, God, for that day.
Amen.
If you keep me from being homeless, if you keep me from sticking a needle in my neck, if you keep me from these things that fucking keep me from you, believe me, I'm here for you. I'll do your bidding. I'll do everything that you need me to do for the day if you promise to keep me away from a drink or a drug. That's the only thing I ask of my God. That's it. Everything else I try to give to him. I thank him for. Everything that I've gotten because of my sobriety and because of helping others and everything else, man, I thank him for. I humble myself before him. I keep myself humbled before him. Thank you for me having a car. Thank you for me having food in my belly. Thank you for me having an apartment, a roof over my head. Thank you for giving me these things, because 10 years ago, I didn't have none of that. And it wasn't because of you that I didn't have none of that. It was because of me. It was because you gave me free will and I wasn't following your guidance and your suggestions. I was following the devil. I was putting chemicals in my body and I was doing my own things, and I was robbing and I was cheating and I was stealing from my family, my friends, and in society. I don't do those things anymore. I don't lie and I don't cheat and I don't steal.
Kory, if you were to go today to meet JC, Jesus Christ, how would you want the rest of the world to remember you?
That I helped one person. That I leave the impact that I helped one person to recover. That one person has taken their life back and stayed sober and like didn't die of a fentanyl overdose because like of a message that I brought them to a treatment center or wherever. That's it, man. That's it. It's that simple. That simple that if they could take my message of hope, that they can stay sober. If this flip-ahead stayed sober, you can too. If this guy, man, like if this guy from Boston like fucking came out here to California with a trash bag with Irish luggage, we call it Irish luggage, that fucking trash bag on the back, because homelessness is fucking prevalent with fucking everybody in Boston, every Irish fucking guy that lives out there, right? We call it Irish luggage, man. I came out here with Irish luggage on my back, and God's given me the gift of sobriety, and that's priceless in itself. Everything else is extras.
Amen.
That's it. That's it, man. Like, if you could just if I could give you sobriety, man, I'm good. I'm okay. I can face my maker that, like, I saved one person.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why I say in treatment, man, if if two of you make it in here, man, shit, I need to get a bonus. Right? Jokes, because I don't do it for the money, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, if two people stay sober, man, because they say that only statistically that one of them is gonna. So if two do, man, like, fucking, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
That's a spiritual bonus to me.
Yeah.
If two kids call me and say, hey, man, like, because of you, because of your message, I have sponsees, I'm sponsoring guys, I'm going to meetings, I'm doing all that recovery stuff that you told me to do, bro, and it's kept me sustainable in my recovery for over 5 years now, I go, whew, I'll have tears in my eyes, and I'll go, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for me giving the ability. And that's coming from a guy that wanted to be what I told you in the beginning. I wanted to be a gang member in the biggest motorcycle club in the world. That's where I wanted to be. In the beginning of my life, in my using and everything else, man, I didn't care about nobody. That's because I didn't care about me. When I looked at the guy in the mirror, I didn't give a shit about him. How am I going to care about you if I don't care about me? And that's why, like, people in recovery, like, they go in there, I love you, man. Like, I love you. Like, all these kids will say that to you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity in here, man. I love you. I love this treatment center. I love you, man. Like, how are you saying that, man? How are you saying you love me? You don't even love yourself. You love the things I'm giving you and the opportunities I'm giving you, and you love that bed that you're sleeping on, right? You love that house that you're living in. You love all those things that I'm giving you. Things that are given to you aren't things to love, right? Jesus Christ tells us that. These aren't things that you love. What you should love is your integrity and your purpose in life, and love having yourself back and having that feeling of love in God and that real love for yourself. If you love yourself, and I see you loving yourself, and I see you being kind to yourself, and I see you changing, man, then I understand that you love me too. Then I'll say, hey, okay, he really does love me because he loves himself. When I say I love somebody, and I love you as one of God's, as my brother of Christ, right? And I do, I love you. It's because I love myself, and I can say it authentically, and I can mean it authentically. We've met 2 hours ago, and I can tell you that I love you because you're a brother in Christ.
Amen.
Absolutely. Because I love myself, and I've done a lot of work through him, with him, in him, right? All those things, man. That's why I can authentically tell people I love them. Until then, it's just a word. And it's a word of, my mother used to say, it's just as good as saying F you. You say you love me because, like, you want to hurt me more. You use that word as a weapon. You should say F you to me. You don't love me. You don't love you. And my mother would say, I want you to love you. When you love you, then I'll believe that you love me.
Powerful.
God shot. My mother's a powerful woman. Took care of 5 children on her own until she met my stepfather, like I told you, right? And then after he died, took care of us still. 5 kids, 5 crazy ass kids that, like, all have great lives today. And she should be proud of every one of them because she did that. And she did that through her higher power. She doesn't believe in the same things I do. Like, she's Catholic, but same thing. She's Christian.
Kory, thank you for your powerful story. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Hopefully it can be used to see.